And we are live. All right. Welcome to today's Q&A. Hey, welcome. It's Tuesday, the 28th of February. So we are live. And of course, if you're watching the replay, hello, but obviously not yet. We will be answering questions for you. So if you have any questions on what's available here at Decker, or maybe you have questions on policies, procedures, orientation, equipment, whatever that might be, this is your time to ask. Yes, so go ahead and put it in the chat. Let me know that you're here. And any questions that are put in the chat, if you want to know specifics on an area, include the zip code or the city and state, either one. But zip code or city and state. And then also your amount of experience. So if you're a newbie, if you've recently graduated, if you have a year or two or whatever, just give me specifics so that I can give you the most detail possible. And that way, life is good, right? Ricky, hey! I missed your comment until after I hopped off, and then it was like seconds later yesterday. So glad you made it. Thanks for joining us today. All right, we're going to talk about available positions, unless someone interrupts me with questions, and I'll stop with where I'm going and lead that direction, all right? All right, so we've had questions about our over-the-road flatbed division, so I'm going to start there. For the overall view, for the over-the-road flatbed division, we have a terminal in Bessemer, Alabama, but we also have our main terminal in Fort Dodge, Iowa. So those are the areas that you'd be running. Well, not only areas, but those are the locations that we have the terminals in. That doesn't mean that is the only area that we hire for. So the areas that we hire are really anywhere from the Texas area, like Dallas and Houston, even San Antonio, over to the Carolinas. So I'm including everything from Arkansas and Louisiana and Mississippi, the Carolinas, like I said, Atlanta, Georgia, and Alabama, Tennessee. What am I missing down there? So anything in that area, we are hiring, but for more specifics, like there are some areas that I have home weekly, and there are some areas that it's every other weekend home. For the most part, unless otherwise specified, for our over-the-road flatbed division, it's every other weekend home. Parts of northern Alabama and northern Georgia, we do in North Carolina, that like I-95 west, as well as the Chattanooga area, Nashville area. Those locations we do have home weekly in. But other than that, we're over the road, home every other weekend for the flatbed division. Now, the flatbed division does require at least 6 months of flatbed experience. So 6 months of flatbed experience, the only way around that is if you have 1 year of tractor trailer experience and you're looking to get into flatbed, and then we can train for that. Cool? All right. Training is usually about 2 to 3 weeks with a trainer. Now, if you have a year of tractor trailer experience, then we're not necessarily going to require you to go with a trainer, but we will still do the training. Hang on one sec. I'm throwing my phone because I see I'm really throwing my phone. Katie needs something. She says, I need a verification. Okay. Bear with me here. We'll get you. Okay. Questions are coming all out. I was trying to mute my phone, and then I see that she's actually trying to get a hold of me here. There we go. Okay, so anyways, the over-the-road flatbed division that's based out of Bessemer, Alabama, orientation is still in Fort Dodge, Iowa. That's where our main terminal is. That's where we do orientation. If you guys are interested in Decker, by the way, and you want to speak to a recruiter directly instead of asking the questions here, you can just give us a call. The number is right here. It's 888-668-0698. And you can also apply online at drivedecker.com. drivedecker.com. All right, excellent. So that being said, let's get back on track. Orientation is in Fort Dodge, Iowa, and you are doing if you're an inexperienced driver, well, let's stick with experience because we're talking the flatbed division, that one we require. So if you're an experienced driver, you'll have 3 days of orientation. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And Wednesday is the day that you're not only, you're meeting with your driver manager, you're getting to know a few people within the company if you haven't yet met us. And then you'll also go through and get a walkthrough of your truck. And you'll also, not only a walkthrough, but you'll also get loaded into your truck, most likely. Most of our equipment is either a 579 Peterbilt or a 780, 760, or 860 Volvo, or a Freightliner Cascadia Evolution. Majority, Peterbilts. They are all automatics, and they have pretty much anything you can think of. APUs, inverters, refrigerators, microwaves, televisions. We have bunk heaters, of course, Epic View satellite TV. That's a company-paid satellite television available to you. It's 100 plus channels, all HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, Sunday Ticket, all those. Anyways, double bunk trucks. We do have both inward and outward facing event recorders through the Lytx system. They turn on critical events, so they're not a live feed. We have free Wi-Fi through the TransFlow Geotab unit. So you will have a Geotab unit in the truck. It's a tablet that you'll have your hours of service on. You'll have your communication for you and your driver manager, load information. You can contact safety, for OS&D claims or whatever you need it for. Getting your paperwork in. I'm not sure if I already said that, and there's a lot of resources on here. Katie is constantly making sure that this is up to date with the most recent newsletter. She also is all going through and making sure that there are resources on here that you can use, whether it be some of the training videos, whether you're accessing it through our YouTube, but you can also access it through your Geotab unit in the truck as well. She recently added a few things like the terminal maps. That has been handy. That's a request that some of our drivers had because they're like, where am I parking these empty trailers, or where am I picking up the good ones? And if with a loaded trailer you don't want to park it in an area that doesn't support it. We have a couple locations in Fort Dodge and stuff that the people were parking in an area where just the asphalt wasn't secure, like strong enough to support it. Anyways, that information is on the TransFlow Geotab unit, so you'll have access to it, along with the training videos, access to your settlement, and both the scorecard and the safety bonuses, and all of that right here on your tablet. So that's that part of all of the equipment. I'm sure I'm missing something with the equipment because there are a lot of amenities, but they're fully equipped is basically what I'm saying. Ricky says he's got a Freightliner watching Moonfall on DirecTV. Moonfall? I don't even know what that is. I'm going to have to look that up, see if it's any good. What's it about? Waiting and Denton. So, more on orientation. So like I said, it's a 3-day orientation. We pay you $1,000 for completing orientation. So for our experienced drivers, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, $1,000 for orientation. You're probably going to be dispatched on Thursday, even though you get your truck on Wednesday, give you time to get loaded, get situated, and then odds are your dispatch is going to be Thursday morning. And put you to work, get you going, right? We do try to get you home on one of your first dispatches. It's probably not going to be the very first dispatch, but we try to get you there on one of the first ones so that you can get the rest of your stuff. Because when you're coming to orientation, even though we give you a rental car and we take care of the gas and stuff to get you here, and you've got your hotel room and your meals while you're here, we are taking care of those things, but we don't want you to bring everything with you right away because there is a chance that you might have to go to, say, Missoula, Montana, or Bessemer, Alabama, to pick up your truck instead of picking it up on Wednesday in Fort Dodge. And if that's the case, you don't want to be hauling everything back and forth. And there's also a chance, by the way, if you do have to go to one of those other locations, we do pay you as well for mileage and stuff to get there. We have the guaranteed pay set up as well, so you'll have that coming out of orientation. And of course, the weeks following. Where was I going with getting everything situated in your truck. If you bring everything with you, if you can kind of picture this. So our training facility, it's upstairs, and you're going, if you brought everything with you, you'd have to bring it from the hotel on Wednesday, and then going up and down the stairs. Like, there isn't a designated spot to put it, so you're hauling it everywhere. It's a lot of work. Just, we'll get you towards home on one of your first dispatch, make life a little easier for you. Sound better? Ricky says it was on his first dispatch. All right, proving me wrong. That's a good thing to be proved wrong on, though, I think. I think I can handle that. Ricky says moonfall is moon crashing into Earth. It's all right. I'm going to have to check that out. Is it like sci-fi drama, like that kind of thing, or is it more a documentary type thing? Because obviously it's not falling into it, but Tom says, show me the money. Well, hello, Mr. Tom Melton. How are you? Congratulations, by the way. Tom has won the, I'm trying to think, January, right? January Midwest Flatbed Division Driver of the Month. Congratulations. Again, he wins it every year. Just the Driver of the Month, you can only win once within a 12-month period. And of course, for the last 4 years, how long has it been, Tom? He wins quite often. He's really quite good at getting that scorecard, that 1,000-point scorecard. Show me the money. Sci-fi. It is sci-fi. Okay, cool. I used to watch that Firefly. Ricky, I don't know if you watched that, but I really liked that show. That was a good one. Congrats on Driver of the Month, Katie says. Yes. Speaking of Driver of the Month, let's take a side note here. Darren Ladley won our refrigerated and dry van home weekly position for Driver of the Month. There. Okay. And then our over-the-road flatbed, Robert Skiles. So congratulations, Robert. And our over-the-road refrigerated dry van division was Chad Hazelton. Congratulations, Chad. And Michael Lister was our owner-operator lease purchase winner. And Diana and Rolando Rosales were our winners for our team division. We have 6 divisions, and each team or each winner of the division for Driver of the Month gets a $100 Walmart gift card plus a $50 gift card to the Decker store. So Tom won that 4 years. There you go. I knew it had to have been at least that. And then some of the divisions we have runner-ups. So like in our smaller divisions, we don't have runner-ups, but in our larger divisions, like our van divisions, we'll have runner-ups, and they will get a $50 gift card to Walmart and a gift from the Decker store as well. So congratulations. Now, that being said, we'll dive into a little bit more. Okay. I'm taking a sidetrack. This is a path along the way to tell you a little bit about Driver of the Year, because that's coming up. Our Driver of the Year awards are coming up on the 21st of March as well. And in order to qualify for Driver of the Year, you have to be Driver of the Month at least. Of course, you have to be Driver of the Month within the calendar year. So for all of 2022, whoever was nominated for Driver of the Month is in the running for Driver of the Year for that division. And of those 6 divisions, one person will be chosen. And they'll be chosen pretty soon here. So we're going to be announcing that soon. And then once you are chosen, then you will come into the Driver of the Year ceremony, and we'll choose a grand champion from those 6. And the grand champion, the Driver of the Years for each division get a $3,000 bonus, and the grand champion gets a $15,000 bonus. So needless to say, it's a sought-after position. And I mentioned before, Tom has held Driver of the Year for the last several years as well. So kind of knows what he's doing. All right. So back into answering some of these questions for orientation. The orientation being the 3 days, dispatch probably on Thursday, and if we can get you home, then we can get you home. Ideally, we'll get you home on one of the first dispatches so you can get the rest of your stuff and get things situated. And then, we'll keep you moving, keep getting you work, or putting you to work. There we go. We do have a guaranteed pay in most of our divisions. The standard guaranteed minimum is $1,000 a week. So think of that as not as a maximum pay. Think of that as a safety net. Well, that's what I pictured as. So it's like a safety net. It's a budgeting tool is what it is. So you know you're going to make $1,000 a week as long as you meet the minimum requirements or the guaranteed pay qualifications. There's just 6 of them. They're pretty basic actually. Be available for dispatch at least 5 days out of the week. No load refusals. No driver service failures, so you need on-time delivery. No preventable accidents for the week. No preventable CSA violations for the week. And then get your paperwork in on time. You get your paperwork in using the TransFlow app that we talked about. You can scan it, you take a picture of it, get it into payroll, and you have to have that in by 10 p.m. on Sunday. Now, ideally, you get that in as soon as you're done with the trip. Saves a lot of headache. It's easier on payroll. We like to make life easy for them. But the requirement is, yes, you need to have it in by 10 p.m. So as long as you've got that, then we're golden. And then those 6 requirements, as long as you meet those requirements, you know you're going to make at least $1,000 a week. I do want to side note that $1,000 a week is gross. So you are taxed on that, of course. I know for some of you that's a given, but it is a question that I get sometimes. And I want to remind you, you are taxed on that guarantee. If your miles and your rate of pay exceed that guarantee, then you're going to get the better of the two. So say you have, I don't know what, 10 years of experience, and you're in the refrigerated division. Well, let's stick with the flatbed division. So you have 10 years of experience and you're in the flatbed division. Say you're making 68 cents a mile, okay? 10 cents of that 68 is per diem. But if your rate of pay per mile and the number of miles that you run exceed that $1,000, you're going to get the better of the two. If it doesn't, then we'll make up the difference, as long as you meet those qualifications. Cool? Okay, cool. So I just wanted to hit on that. Well, who else do we have? Jeff, hello, Mr. Parker. How are you today? Tom says the waiting is killing him for driver of the year. It should be really quick. And it seems like it's earlier. It's going to be announced earlier than usual. Maybe it's not. It feels like it to me. It does. Tom says taxed and deductions come out like medical. Exactly. So it's just like a it's your normal paycheck. It's taxed and whatnot. So same with bonuses. Bonuses have to be taxed as well. That's by law. We can't wiggle around that sucker. Jeff says doing good. Good. It's beautiful. I don't know if you're home in Montana, but it is gorgeous here today. It really is. It was awesome yesterday. The sun was shining. I was a happy camper. Okay. So where were we at? The $1,000 guaranteed. If you make more than that, obviously, you'll get the better of the two. So we just make up the difference otherwise. Where else can we go? So once you're done with orientation, we talked about your equipment. Trying to think of what else. Let's talk about maybe the Midwest. Ricky says it's 70 in Texas. Okay. So yeah, when I'm talking nice, I'm talking it's like 30 degrees. Not 70. We're not that cool. Well, we literally are. It says it's 18. 18 degrees here? I don't know. Maybe it is. It seems way warmer. What is it in Billings, Jeff? He's at home. That's when I know that you're watching, right? you're on your home time. So speaking of, it's 34. Okay, so it's got to be warmer. My watch never is right. It says it's 3. I know it's not 3. All right. So we have our over-the-road refrigerated. Jeff's part of that. So our over-the-road refrigerated division, that one can run coast to coast. Most of it's going to be west of the Mississippi. So a lot out west, a lot in the Washington area, Northern Oregon, Salt Lake area, so Utah. There is some in California along I-5 from California up to Washington. There's some in the Phoenix area, Reno, Montana. We've got a terminal in Missoula, Montana, and then you're definitely going to see some in areas of Idaho. So we take 80, that's pretty common, into Wyoming. We do hire out of the Cheyenne area. Colorado's a good busy area for us. And like our Midwestern divisions, when it comes to our flatbed and refrigerated and some of our home weekly, the Midwest is a very busy area for us for pretty much every division that we have. So our over-the-road refrigerated division runs quite a bit of Midwest as well. So Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Kansas, all very busy areas for us, at least the Kansas City area, Kansas, all very busy areas for us in the refrigerated division. So again, if you guys have any questions and want to speak to a recruiter, for those of you who are not Decker peeps, then you can go ahead and get a hold of us at 888-668-0698. You can also apply online at drivedecker.com. So, okay, cool. Speaking of Decker peeps, we do have a referral program. You guys can actually access a referral, what do I want to call it? On the dashboard, it's like a referral button of your TransFlow app. You can access that and then just text us who your referral is. I was going to show it to you on here. Who the referral is and their telephone number, and we will reach out to them so you can get credit, because we do have a referral bonus. It's like last year, we're doing the same type of thing where it's a $1,500 referral bonus for everybody you hire on that you refer that hires on. There we go. And that pays within 90 days of their hire. So there's 4 installments, one on first dispatch, it's $250, $250 after 30 days, and $500 at both 60 and 90 days. But if you want, here's your dashboard of your, oh look, my light. Here's your dashboard on your TransFlow app, and the second button in is the referral bonus, the referral link. How do you find out if they're hired? Well, we can tell you. We can't give you a whole lot of detail on, if they weren't. We're not going to be able to tell you why they weren't, but we can definitely tell you if they were or weren't hired. So if you have anybody specific that you're asking, you can ask me now, and I can try and look them up. Or I can get a hold of the recruiter and find out too. So usually it's your recruiter that has that information. But yeah, I can look that up for you. Give me a holler, or you can call that 800 number, the 888 number, and talk to any of the recruiters, and they should be able to answer that for you. But this is what the referral bonus is going to look like. Not the referral bonus, but the referral conversation is going to look like. And over here. And it's just going to ask you, hey, it's Corey. Nice to meet you. Thanks. Sign up for the employee referral program. What's your first and last name and who recruited you? So this is if you're referring somebody. That way we give you credit where credit is due. You get paid, make a little bit of money. Last year, Sony Henry had 5 referrals within 1 quarter. 1 quarter of the year from, he actually had it between the end of May and the end of September. All of his referrals came in. So it was like $11,000 worth of referrals, no doubt, because not only did he get the $1,500 for the first 3 referrals, but then you get $2,000 for your 4th and your 5th referral. So $2,000 each for that. Still pays within 90 days. And then, by the way, okay, so then if you have 6 referrals, it's $2,500 and up. But for the first 5, that's how it is. And then if you get at least 5 and you are the one with the most referrals, then that are hired on, then you also get a $2,500 grand champion prize as well, on top of all the other incentives you get t-shirts and business cards. Business cards are handy. They legit are handy, because if you're stopped by somebody at a terminal or a truck stop or whatever, and they're like, hey, I want to know a little bit more about Decker. Do you have time to talk? And if you don't, you give them a card. They get a hold of one of the recruiters and put the recruiters to work, make them talk and give the details, right? But that's how that works. But the referral bonus, it has all kinds of incentives. At 5 referrals that hire on or who hire on, you also get a referral jacket, a team jacket, which is really cool. and you have a chance to win $1,000 every quarter that you refer someone. So if you referred and hired on somebody for every quarter, your name will be into the quarterly drawings. So a chance for $1,000, or you can do a laptop or a tablet. You get to choose, but for some reason everybody chooses the money. I don't know why. Hey George, how are you? Referral only for Decker employees. That's true. It is. Yep, only for our Decker drivers. Our drivers. Yep. You'll send me a check to it. Nope. John, let me check. Nope. You got to work out something though, right? You got to see if they can get a hold of the recruiting department, George, and see if they'll make a deal with you. Got to be a system there. And okay, so Tom, looks like Bryce did speak to him on last Thursday. So he spoke to him on Thursday, and they're talking about it. He's talking about it with his wife. They're just kind of discussing. But yeah, there you have it. So Tom, you can give him a holler and say, "Hey, what's taking so long? Why does it take so long to decide?" Right? Just kidding. But yes, he did talk to Bryce. And your name is attached as the referral, which is also awesome. I'm going to make sure. Sorry. I need to mute myself when I cough. Or just not cough, and then life would be fantastic. So we've got you down as the referral, but I'm also going to put you down in another area to make sure that that the referral is not missed whatsoever. Cool? George made him sad. Hey, Jack, how are ya? Indiana Jack here. Good to have you back on here. Tom says, George, use my name and we'll split it. I didn't see that. You do what you do. See, Tom's making it work. That's a good idea. That works. Katie says, when you successfully refer a driver, we'll get a hold of you and let you know how the gifts and the bonus, and let you know about the gifts and the bonuses. Yes, she makes a good point. So Katie has been working on the referral program to help streamline it, to make sure that we're getting those gifts to you at each step of the way. So like I said, the t-shirts and the business cards come at one time. Oh, and you also get, I think after 3 referrals, you get a $100 gift card. There's tons of incentives. You guys need to check out the referral page. I think I have oh yeah, baby. I've got like a little video here. Hopefully it's muted, because I'm talking to myself trying to figure it out. But anyways, you go to the referral page, and that kind of shows you some of the incentives and all that good stuff. Oh, George, I love it. He'll make it work. So anyways, that's there. If you're interested, check it out. drivedecker.com drivedecker.com/driver-referral. That's how you get there, if you want to check that out. Okay, back on track. We talked a little bit about our Midwest flatbed, mostly because we were bragging about Tom and congratulating him on another Driver of the Month. It's a new year, and he landed that Driver of the Month title right out of the gate. So he doesn't get to be Driver of the Month again for a whole year, but he has a chance at Driver of the Year this year as well. So we'll see that. Anyways, the Midwest Flatbed Division, that one runs obviously more in the Midwest, a lot of Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, into the Pittsburgh area. It doesn't run too far, much further, I should say, east of Pittsburgh, but it does run into that area. Some of them are going to be more confined than others because we have a home daily position. If you live in Fort Dodge, Iowa, we have a short haul position that's home daily. Then we also have home weekly positions. If you live in the Chicago area, then that is that one guarantees you $1,700 a week and home weekly. But if you live in, say, Iowa City or Toledo, Ohio, a little bit further out, then we can guarantee you $1,450 a week. But for the most part, $1,000 for sure is the minimum that you'd be getting. It just depends on where you live within our hiring area, that what we can guarantee you. And of course, your rate of pay per mile will be reflective of your experience. So Tom says, what if the referral is a previous employee? Well, you can also make money on a rehire referral bonus. So that's a $400 bonus as well. So say you've got a buddy that hasn't worked here for a couple of years and he wants to come back, and you're calling him and to convince him to come back, then as long as he puts your name down, or as long as you let us know that you guys have been in contact and were to reach out, then yes, that's a $400 bonus. $400. And actually, that one, the in-house staff can get as well. So for those of you, with driver managers or whatever, if you've got it in with your driver manager and you want to make sure that they get a bonus, and you haven't worked for Decker for a couple of years, then get a hold of your previous driver manager and they'll make it work, right? Your qualifications as a rehire or as a referral are still the same as any other qualifications. You got to meet them. You have to have, if you're in the over-the-road flatbed division, you have to have at least 6 months of flatbed experience or at least a year of tractor trailer in order to qualify for that position. In our Midwest flatbed, however, we can train you if you're a recent graduate of a school, or if you have, even 2 to 3 months, we can put you through our training program. Same with our over-the-road refrigerated and our more regional or home weekly refrigerated divisions. We can train if you're a recent graduate as well, or have minimal experience. So yes, that is an option. The orientation process and of course training will be in addition to what you would get as an experienced driver for orientation, but that process is there. So the experience requirement has to be met. No major moving violations within the last 3 years. If you have a 15 over ticket, or if you have a careless or a reckless or something like that, it has to be at least 3 years old. We cannot work with it within that 3-year period. Same with a DOT recordable accident. If you had a DOT recordable preventable accident within the last 3 years, you'll have to wait till it's outside of the 3-year period in order to move forward. DUIs, DWIs, especially if it's in a commercial vehicle, that'd have to be 5 years old if that was the case. But, other qualifications, those are the basics. 21 years of age, we can hire as young as 21 years of age. Of course, you have to have a valid Class A interstate license in order to work. Class A CDL. Yep. Okay. Where's it going? Oh, so orientation for those of you who are students, it's $1,000 paid orientation, but it's a week long instead of the 3 days. And then that's followed by 2 to 3 weeks with a trainer. And that the 2 to 3 weeks is a combination of, are you catching on? Do you need a little bit more training? As well as getting you back from, being on the road to the Fort Dodge terminal to get your truck, the one that you're assigned to, and get that one situated in your own driver manager. So there's that process as well. But it's 2 to 3 weeks with a trainer. We pay you $700 a week while you're with a trainer, and then you go to the guaranteed pay amount, whether it be $1,000 or, say you're in flatbed and you live in the Fort Dodge area and you're home on a weekly basis, it's $1,450 a week. So there's a difference there. In our refrigerated division, home weekly, if you live in, say, Omaha, different areas, but if you live in Omaha, Nebraska, is a prime example, we can guarantee you $1,250 a week and home weekly. You're running a lot of the Midwest, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. Those are shorter runs compared to our over-the-road division. The over-the-road division, it's like 600 to 900 is an average length of haul, whereas our home weekly division is usually between 4 to 600, so it's on that lower end. So keep that in mind as well. Somebody said something earlier that reminded me. Let me see if I can figure that, where I was going to go. Oh, yesterday we talked about this, but benefits and vacation and things like that. We now have vacation available to those of you who are coming, who are new to Decker. When you first hire on, you get, let me rephrase that. When you hire on and you've been here for 6 months, there we go, then you do qualify for a week of vacation. So at 6 months, you'll guarantee, or at six months, you'll qualify for a week of vacation. Why am I struggling with that, you guys? Seriously. But at a year, then you will qualify for another week of orientation. So at 3 years, you'll qualify for 2 weeks of vacation. And then at 7 years experience, 7 years with Decker, you'll qualify for 3 years. 3 weeks of vacation. Okay, so here we're going to do this again and see if I can spit it out, basically. 6 months, 1 week of vacation. At 1 year, you'll get another week of vacation. At your second year, you'll get another week of vacation. At your third year, you'll get 2 weeks of vacation. At your fourth year, you'll get 2 weeks of vacation. At your fifth year, you'll get 2 weeks of vacation. At your sixth year, you'll get 2 weeks of vacation. At your seventh year, and thereafter, you'll get 3 weeks of vacation each year. There we go. See? Success. I can do it. How sad. Okay. That being said, your vacation is based off of your earnings from that previous year. So in the last 6 months, that being an exception, we'll take whatever you made within that 6 month period and divide it in order to come up with your daily vacation pay. Okay, so the more you run, more with your bonuses, and it takes everything into account: your bonuses, your miles, your guaranteed pay. All of that is calculated to determine your vacation pay. So it's not just your mileage; it is all of that your bonuses and everything that determine your vacation pay. So yeah. The rate of pay per mile is anywhere from someone brand new to the industry, brand new, I don't know where I went with that, but 52 cents a mile is where you'd start in the refrigerated van division. That's when you're first starting, and 10 cents of that's per diem. Once you've been with us for 90 days, your pay will increase 3 cents, so you'll be at 55 cents a mile in that refrigerated dry van division, and refrigerated van division, and then again 10 cents of that's per diem, and then at that point you'll increase on an annual basis, so you get a penny raise every year on your anniversary. The max right now is at 70 cents a mile, and that's for someone over 15 years of experience. Yeah, that's 70 cents a mile, and again 10 cents of that's per diem. I think so too, Tom. I do. Why not? I think that's a good plan to me. Mm-hmm. All right. There was one other place I was going with that. Benefits and everything. Benefits start after 60 days. So that's changed. Before we were at 90 days. Now we're at 60 days. So 60 days. And on your 61st day of employment, you'll receive that. Our benefits plans, it's Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's an 80-20 plan. It does have the work-life balance through, who's that through right now? I think it's through Humana. We've switched a few times, so it's through Humana right now. Blue Cross Blue Shield, other than that, we do have a $0 generic. So $0 generic prescriptions available to you. I do know that some of the brand names are also $0, but the generics are all. So we're going to stick with that. And then George says 70 cents per mile and the option to drive. Excuse me. Yes, that's actually true. So I'm sorry, I should have muted myself again. But George, yes, with 15 years of experience here at Decker, you do have, if you've been with Decker for at least 15 years, then you do have the option to spec your truck. So that's kind of a perk of being with Decker for 15 years. So the 70 cents a mile applies to someone whether that experience is with Decker or not with Decker, but at least 15 years of experience though. So there's a little bit of difference, but yeah. Tom says, I have both. Yes, he does. With some decals on the side. I love it. Okay, so the benefits, we were talking about the benefits. We also have a 401k. That one goes into effect after 60 days as well. That's actually the first of the month following 60 days because the 401k works a little bit different than the health insurance, health, dental, vision, that kind of stuff. But the 401k is a 50% match. That's a pretty big deal to me. So 50% match on the 401k, and you're totally vested at 6 years. That's the totally vested mark. I can't remember all of the increments that you can get up to. But then we also have short-term and long-term disability available to you. We've got Regenix. That's a new thing that's through the insurance as well, which is like stem cell regeneration. More details, let's get that from the benefits department so they know what they're talking about. And more benefits, we do have a dog policy. It's one dog, 85 pounds or less. We also have allow 2 dogs, no more than 40 pounds combined though. And in any case, they have to be non-aggressive breeds. It's a $500 deposit, so that has gone down. We do have pet areas. Ooh, this is a win. This is cool. We do have a pet washing area in Fort Dodge now. Legit. So not only do you have areas that, designated just for the dogs for walking area and play and stuff. Please keep them on the leash, by the way, because there are some people, obviously, that are, they could be allergic or they're just not pet friendly. I get you. So if that's the case, make sure you keep your dog on the leash. And where was I going with that? Oh, the dog washing area. So yeah, now by the washway, there's a dog washing area as well. Nice little facility. No goats, Tom. How many times I have to tell you? My goat's sitting right there, by the way. It's not real. I'm just telling you. But I have one. Funny thing, Tom, my mom she's got at least 6 adult goats, and she has 3 little babies in there. So cute. They're not like little babies anymore. I guess they've gotten a little better. They've just recently been weaned. And I'm tempted to bring those with, but not yet. We have a rider policy, ages 10 to 69 years of age. So it's $25 for every month that you have a rider. And I know that's a big deal for some of you guys, especially if you're a single parent or if you like to have company every now and then. That's right. Yep, your spouse can ride with you. It's $25 a month. Just let the recruiter know or your driver manager know so that they can set that up with the safety department and they'll get the paperwork for you. It's easy peasy. Easy peasy. What am I missing? Anything that I'm missing for specifics, questions that we're getting on a regular basis here? Actually, I saw one a little bit earlier. Let me see if I can. There was one other question that I wanted to be sure. Oh, do we offer training? We do offer training. It's in our refrigerated division and our Midwest flatbed division for those of you who are interested. And also you guys can access some of the information on our YouTube page. We have several different videos on there that will answer some of those questions. Marlon had said that he watched the coil racks. He was there at a shipper and was working on some of those himself. So I'm glad that you found that useful. The shop and the training department, they take their time to give us some educational videos now and then that we really appreciate. Yeah. Dental and vision, yes. Dental and vision is also available to you. It's Delta Dental and Avisian, I believe, through the vision program. And those are available at the 61st day of employment as well. And so what happens is when you hire on here at Decker, we partner with a company called Cisco, and they will reach out to you once you hire on and kind of go through all of the benefits, because there are a lot of benefits that you can do. You can do the Teladoc, which is actually called, not EMD anymore. I get so confused by which one's which. But we have quite a few. There's a Teladoc services that you'll be able to access as well. And that's all, like the Cisco rep will call you and say, okay, so which ones do you want? Let's do a checklist. They'll walk through it. They'll answer the questions for you so that they have the specifics on what you want and what they expect it to cost. Like, because if you're going to get short-term or long-term disability insurance, or maybe you're going to do an additional life insurance beyond what Decker covers at least $10,000 for you. And if that's the case, you want additional information on how much it's going to cost on a weekly basis, right? Well, that's when they'll walk through the cost of each piece, tell you the overall cost, and you'll decide, okay, that works for me. Or, sometimes you might be like insurance rich, but if it gets too expensive and you got to make those adjustments, it's always nice for them to walk through that with you. John said, I made it. I'm in Bessemer flatbed division. All right, John, congratulations. Made it. Good deal. And Tom says BMD. Yeah, it's a different one because it used to be, and you still have that option. I was just trying to remember which one it was right off the top of my head. Now we do have Humana, the EAP program through Humana, that I wasn't 100% sure, but Wellmark has several different ones. I was trying to remember. Katie, do you remember off the top of your head? But Tom, that was the one that we had, and then I gotta look. I'm having you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to pull up the guide itself and make sure that I've got it all, because there's a lot. So the prescription is Control RX, Med 1. That's one. The telehealth is on page 10. Okay, telehealth is no cost. That's not page 10. It's not on page 10, you guys. It's on page 9. And it's telehealth through Blue Cross Blue Shield. So it's just called something. Doctor on Demand. That's what it is. Doctor on Demand. There you go. It's the same type of thing. It's just a different provider. Yep. Like they can treat things from allergies and fevers and UTIs and headaches and sore throats and colds and, this crap that I've been messing with, this cold and sore throat type thing. Bronchitis, sinus infection, all of that they can do through the Teladoc services. There's mental health resources available to you as well. Counseling sessions. There's a lot, you guys, that are offered. But the guide itself, if you guys need a copy of that, we do provide that so that you can kind of look through it. Because I know in some cases, for those of you who aren't with Decker but are exploring Decker as an option, before you decide on a company, sometimes you want to see, okay, it's my prescription that I'm on that I have to have. Is that covered? And to what amount is that covered? That kind of thing. Yeah, that's pretty common to ask. I was smart enough and I muted. Woohoo. Okay. All right. Any other questions on the benefits program or the benefits that we offer? There's quite a few. And then there's also, when you come into Fort Dodge, you can go to like the rec. The rec center has a free pass as well. You can get that at the Welcome Center. All kinds of good stuff. The Regenix that I was talking about, that is, Regenix uses your body's, I'm reading this by the way, uses your body's natural healing agent to replace the need of up to 70% of elective orthopedic surgeries. Your stem cells and blood platelets are concentrated on our on-site orthobiologics. Yep, lab. Orthobiologics. There we go. Injected under image guidance. That's super cool. Those are things for like shoulders and spines and knees and hips, all that stuff that we have to deal with as we get older. It happens. Dental, we talked about that. FedLogic is also something new. We've partnered with FedLogic to provide state and federal benefit information and advocacy to you, to your household members, to both. It's confidential and it's unlimited and it's free to each of our employees as well. So there's details on that also within our benefits package. And then of course, Flex Savings. A lot of you guys take advantage of the Flex Savings account, especially if you've got like childcare that you're looking at. So yeah, you guys, if you have questions and you want to talk to a recruiter, get a hold of them. 888-668-0698. I am so glad that you guys joined me today and put up with me. I will see you next week. And of course, if you have more questions, get a hold of us. 888-668-0698. If you don't have time for a phone call but want to get your application in, you can also apply online at drivedecker.com. Before I go, Andrew is asking if we have any refrigerated out of 63102. Where is that? St. Louis, Missouri. I don't have any refrigerated there. I have a lot of flatbed. Actually, I've got great flatbed opportunities out of St. Louis. Home Weekly guarantees at least $14.50 a week, runs a lot of the upper Midwest, but no refrigerated out of St. Louis area. Over on the west side of the state, yes, Kansas City, St. Joe, you bet we do. Hey, Mike, you were here. Good to have you. You have a great day too. Okay, you guys have an awesome rest of your day. I will visit with you later. I'll visit with you next week. But stay tuned and follow us on, the other social media sites because we'll be announcing the Driver of the Year here shortly. And we hop on TikTok every now and then as well to share the love. Make sure we're everywhere. Any snow blizzards? I plan to ride my motorcycle 150 miles to Detroit tomorrow. Ugh! Not that I know of. I don't bring it, right? So weather alerts. Let's look at weather alerts. I'm going to investigate. Before we leave, we got to check these things out, right? Detroit, huh? Let's see what Michigan brings you. Nothing, it says. What about in the surrounding areas? Flood warnings out of Ohio. That could be fun. Not so much. Indiana says flood warnings. Lots of flood warnings. Holy smoly. Lots of flood warnings out of the Indiana area. Illinois. Lots of flood warnings. Well, you be careful then. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like you need to be careful if you're riding your motorcycle. Try and stay warm. 4 days, about 400,000 with electric in Michigan. What? Without electric? And that's where you're headed? Mike says it's going to be sunny and well above freezing, and that's what I'm planning for tomorrow. Well, make sure you bring matches and whatever else you need, Build yourself a little fire, stay warm. That's what all that flooding's from. Dang ice storms. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun at all. Not this time of year. Normally, yes. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your day. Hopefully that heated jacket keeps you warm enough, Mike. Take care, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you very soon.